Hello, everybody. This is Pastor Everett Bell from Bethel Monrovia, and I pray that the Lord is, that you and the Lord are having a good time today, that you are trusting in the name of the Lord in the things that you deal with today, and that you are encouraged. You ever wonder how much what you watch can influence you? A better way to say it is, do you ever wonder how much what you observe can influence you? What you observe, what we observe, has an impact on our actions. Whatever I watch, right, whether in life or through an entertainment venue, whatever I watch over time can impact the way that I act. It can impact the way that I behave. In fact, it can even impact the decisions that I make. Amen. That's interesting. Because at Matthew chapter 6, verse 22, Jesus says something similar to that. Look what he says. He says, the eye is the lamp of the body. If your eyes are healthy, the body will be full of light. But if your eyes are unhealthy, your whole body will be full of darkness. If then the light within you is darkness, how great is the darkness? You got to be careful of what you're looking at. Amen. Jesus raises this issue in the context of this teaching that he's doing at chapter 6. And he's actually dealing with, specifically in that particular text, the mindset of the people whose only focus was greed and selfishness. And because their focus was on wealth and gaining wealth, they tended to be focused on that. And it was producing a certain type of personality. One that was greedy, one that was selfish, one that was not concerned with anything else. Because what we look at, whether physically or even spiritually, impacts the way we become. Jesus says the eye is the lamp of the body. This idea of lamp is the same notion of a lamp that's placed on the top of a hill to provide light in an area. Amen. So if you notice, street lights are always raised up. They're not really down low, because the higher they're raised, the more area they can provide light to. And when the area is lit, people can make better decisions. So he says the eye is the lamp of the body. In other words, the eye influences, or what the eye sees influences the body. And I want you to think about that for a minute, because that has a whole lot of impact on our lives. What we focus on impacts us. What we observe over an extended period of time has the tendency to impact us. So when in chapter 3 of Genesis, when Eve was approached by the serpent, and the serpent said, did God say not to touch the fruit? And she said, we can't touch it. We can't even look at it, right? We can't do anything with it. And yet, when the serpent says to her, well, you won't really die. You'll just be like God. Amen. And the serpent starts talking. And then all of a sudden, her eyes are fastened on the fruit. It was good. It was something to make you wise. All those words that come up in chapter 3 of Genesis. She's rationalizing based on what she's looking at. And her ultimate decision was to eat of the fruit. In chapter 11 of 2 Samuel, same thing happens with David. He's looking at this woman by the name of Bathsheba, who is taking a bath on the roof. And he asks the question, who is this woman? And they reply, it's Bathsheba, the wife of Uriah. Now, when they said it's the wife, that should have been for David. Stop looking, look somewhere else, because as he looked, he became desirous of the woman. And so he took action and had the woman brought to his house. Now, all I'm saying is this, that by staring in these cases, by looking, we begin a process of desire, and therefore these acts took place. What we look at can influence us. And so if we're looking at things such as violence, we're looking at things, we're observing actions where people are hurt and harmed, we actually become insensitive to people's hurt and harm. If we look at things that bring us joy, if we look at things that bring us happiness, if we look at things that are noteworthy, if we look at things that are phenomenal, if we look at things that are God-centered, we have a tendency to be positively impacted by the things that we look at. But if we're looking at violence, if we're observing violence all the time, we become influenced by violence. Amen. Amen. You have to guard what you look at. And in a spiritual context, we have to guard what we allow to come into our space. So, for example, if you're watching adult channels, you know you can be influenced by the spirit of lust. All right. So if I can be influenced by the spirit of lust by watching adult channels, what can I be influenced by if I watch things on the spiritual occult? See, I believe that the enemy uses the media or medium, right? Whether it's social media, music, to convey a message that creates subsequent behavior. The eye is the lamp of the body. And if your eyes are healthy, what you look at, your body will be full of light. So needless to say, I won't be watching the Lee Daniels movie, Deliverance, because I have to protect what my eyes look at. Be encouraged today. If this encourages you or helps you, take a moment to like and subscribe, and you'll get updates on an ongoing basis. God bless you.